All right, so today our learning objective is that we're going to simplify an expression. So we've done combining like terms. We've re-practiced some distributions. So today I want to practice simplifying an expression by combining like terms and distributing. All right, so I started on the wrong end. So first, I want to refresh your memory on how to combine like terms. So I want you to go ahead and pause this and work through it. All right. So now, by now you should already gone ahead and pause this and work through it. So to combine our like terms, I'll paste the answers, but I'm gonna walk you through it. So for this first, all right. So 6x and negative 12x. Remember, you have to make this plus, so 6x minus 12x. Remember, you have to treat that 12 as a negative, so you make this plus a negative. So now I have a positive 6 and a negative 12, so we're going to end up with negative 6x, because when I have a positive and a negative, you subtract. Keep the larger sign. Same thing on 2. I have 8a, I have 3a, so 8 and 3 give me 11a. Oops, and I have 1a. Remember, there's an assumed 1 there. So 8 and 3 is 11, and those are all positive, and positive 1a, so 12a, and negative 4 is the only constant that I have. So on this next one, I see a 15w, I see a 9w, and both of those are positive, so we can go ahead and add those to make 24w, and then I have negative 8, because plus a negative, so negative 8 and negative 12 is going to be plus negative 20, because two negatives you add together and become a bigger negative. All right, so then I have negative 3k and negative 4k, because this is plus negative 4k. Give me negative 7k, and I have positive 12 and positive 5. So plus 17. Did you get that right? Awesome. If not, please bring those questions to class. And then distributing. We reviewed that yesterday. So 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 times 5 is 15. Negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times plus negative times negative 9. Plus 36. All right, 2 times 6 is 12, plus negative for this x. 2 times negative 1x is plus negative 2x. All right, on 8, negative 5 times x is negative 5x, plus negative 5 times positive 1 is a negative 5. Did you get all those right? Awesome. So that should refresh your brain on how to combine like terms and how to distribute. So today we're going to do both of those things, but together. So to simplify an expression, you should have no like terms and no parentheses. So in order to simplify an expression, you must first distribute. And then once you're done with all of your distributions, you are going to combine any like terms. So if we look at this first one, this is missing a plus sign. All right, so this first one should this first one should say 3 parentheses x plus 4 plus 9x minus 4. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to distribute that 3. So we know 3 times 1x is going to give us 3x. And then 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. And then we're going to bring down plus 9x minus 4. And then our last step, now that we have no parentheses left, is to go ahead and combine any of our like terms. I see 3x and 9x is going to give me 12x. And then I see positive 12 and plus a negative and negative 4. A positive and a negative, we're going to subtract and keep the bigger sign. So plus 12 minus 4 is 8. 12 is bigger. So positive 8. All right. Let's go ahead and do another one. So again, I'm going to distribute first. So I have 8 times 3k. So negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Keep the k. We're going to make this plus a negative. So now we see negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. And then we have plus 6k minus 15. And I'm going to go ahead before I even do that, say that's plus a negative. All right, so now my like terms, I see negative 24k, positive 6k, and then I see 8 and negative 15. So for negative 24 and positive 6, we're going to, because I have a negative and a positive, we're going to subtract and keep the bigger sign. So negative 24, so 24 minus 6 is 18, so 18k. 24 is bigger, so it's going to be negative 18k. And then I have a positive 8 and a negative 5. 15 minus 8 is 7. 15 is bigger, so plus negative 7. And then we are done. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do 11. Let's see. So again, we're going to distribute this 9. So 9 times 4c is going to give me 36c. And we're going to make this plus a negative. 9 times negative 6 is negative 54. And then we're going to bring everything else down. Plus 24 minus 9c. So I have plus a negative. I have negative 9c and positive 36c. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract and keep the sign of the larger one. So 36 minus 9 is going to leave me with 27c, and 36 is bigger. So it's going to be positive. And then I have negative 54 and positive 24. So we'll subtract and keep the bigger sign. So plus negative 30. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump forward. I want you to go ahead and I want you to do these two on your own. So I want you to pause it and work through number 13 and number 14. Awesome. So I want you to go ahead. By now, you should have already unpaused it. So we're going to go ahead and go through it together. I want you to hold up your paper and follow along with me because at this point you've paused it. And if not, you're pausing it now. All right. So I want you to go ahead and follow with me and check the paper as we go. So what did you do first? All right. So if you said that you distributed, then you did you did the right first thing. So we're going to go ahead and distribute that 3. So 3 times 7 is 21. We're going to make this plus a negative p. 3 times negative p is negative 3p because there's an assumed 1 there. So 3 times negative 1p is negative 3p. And then we're going to go ahead and bring everything else down. So negative 3 plus 10p plus 21 plus negative 3p. So we're going to combine our p. So I have 10p and negative 3p, a positive and a negative. Subtract, keep the bigger sign. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 10 is bigger, so it's going to be positive 7p. We're done with that. We're done with that. And then I have positive 21 and negative 3. We're going to go ahead and subtract and keep the larger sign again. So 21 minus 3 is 18, and 21 is larger, so it's going to stay positive. Did you get that right? Awesome. All right, so 14 we've seen a couple of times already. Stuff like this when we were distributing. When I have a negative like the parentheses like that, we're going to make that plus a negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite this as 17n plus negative 1 times 3n plus 8 minus 1. All right, so when I have a negative sign like that, I'm distributing a negative 1 into those parentheses. So I'm going to go ahead and say negative 3n, negative 1 times 3n, and then negative 1 times 8. So negative plus negative 24. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring everything else down. I'm going to make that plus a negative, and then I have 17n plus. All right, so now I have 17n, negative 3n, and those are my only n's. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract and give me 14. Keep the larger sign, which is 17, so it's going to stay positive. And then I have a negative 24 and a negative 1 because they're both negative. We're going to add them and make them a larger negative. So we are done. Awesome. Did you get those two right? If not, was it that negative sign? Did that throw you off? Do you see what you did wrong? If not, bring these questions to our guided practice. Awesome. All right. So I have a couple more. I'm going to move this out my way. All right. So I'm going to do these two, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you do 3 by yourself. So, oh, wait. This is not the one I wanted to move. I'll make sure you see this one. All right. So I am going to go ahead, and I am going to do 17 and 16. So I'm going to do one more where we only have 1 parenthesis, and then I want to take a good look at 17 where we have 2 parentheses. So same process, we're going to do distribution. So I'm going to start with 16. So I have negative 7 times positive 2x, so negative 14x, and then negative 7 times negative 5 is going to give me plus positive 35, because 2 negatives multiplied give me a positive. And then I'm going to bring down 22 plus 3 plus that negative 14x and that positive 35. So 22 and 3, I'm going to go ahead and say 25 plus negative 14x plus 35. And then I have positive 35 and positive 22, which is going to give me positive 50, no, 40, 60, positive 60 plus negative 14x. All right, so now I want to go ahead and take a look at 7. So the only difference between what we've been doing and 17 is that you're going to distribute twice and then combine like terms. So 7 times 3k gives me 21k plus negative 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. And then we're going to do the same thing for our second parenthesis. So 9 times negative 6k is going to be negative 54k. 9 times 1k is 9k. And then 9 times a negative 5 is a negative 45. All right, so 21k, negative 54k, and 9k. So these are our k's. So 21 and 9, they're going to give me 30k. And 30 and negative 54, I'm going to go ahead and subtract and keep the bigger sign. All right, so 54 minus 30 is 24. Negative 54 is bigger, so we're going to be left with negative 24k. So I did my 21 and my 9 gave me 30, and then 30 and negative 4 gave me negative 54. So that's where I combined my k's. And then I have negative 28 and negative 45. Because they're both negative, we're just going to add them together. So negative 28 and negative 45. Because they're both negative, I'm going to add them together. So I'm going to get 13, 6, and plus negative 73. 2 negatives add together and make a bigger negative. Awesome. So now I want you to go ahead and I want you to do these 3 on your own, and then I'm going to work them through so you can go ahead and check your answers. All right, so by now you should have already paused this and worked through it. If not, pause it now, work through these. Awesome. So now you're unpausing and we were ready to work through and check your answers. So when you distribute this 3 times a positive 2r is 6r. 3 times plus negative times negative 7 is negative 21. Plus 5 times r is 5r. Plus 5 times 4 is 20. So then your last step is to go ahead and combine 6r and 5r is 11r. Negative 21 and positive 20, subtract and keep the bigger sign. So 21 minus 20 is 1. Negative 21 is bigger. So that's what we should have got. Awesome. So on this next one, we're going to distribute our 2. So 2 times 5a is 10a plus negative 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. Negative 6 times 4a. So we're going to make plus a negative. I want to make sure we know that we're distributing a negative 6 and not a positive 6. So negative 6 times 4a is going to give me negative 24a, and negative 6 times 3 is going to give me a negative 18. So now I have a positive 10a and a negative 24a. We're going to subtract and keep the bigger sign. So we're going to have 14a, and because 24 is bigger, it's going to be negative 14a. And then I have negative 12 and negative 18. Because they're both negative, we'd add them together and make a bigger negative. So 12 plus 18 is 30. So plus negative 30. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do 20. Let's check your 20. So negative 4 times m is negative 4m. There should only be one plus sign there. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 plus a negative. We distribute a negative 5. So negative 5 times positive 3 is negative 15m plus a negative. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. So plus 10. So I have positive 10 and negative 4. Positive and negative subtract and keep the bigger sign. 10 minus 4 is 6 and 10 is bigger. So we're done with our constants. And then I have negative 15m and negative 4n. A negative and a negative make a bigger negative. So negative 15 and negative 4 is going to give me negative 19m. Awesome. So in order to simplify an expression, we first distribute. And then we combine like terms. And in order to combine like terms, we can only combine the ones that are the same. So we could combine matching variables, but we cannot combine variables, terms, and constants. I cannot combine different variables like m and n. I can only combine matching variables or constants with constants. Variables with variables, same variables, so r's with r's, v's with v's, etc., and regular numbers with no variables with regular numbers with no variables. All right, so there is a practice on Schoology on this if you feel super confident with it. If you're still hesitant, you want to do some more practice, you've got some questions, please come to guided practice. All right, have a great day, guys.